back with Studio 5 relationship coach Dr. Matt Townsend talking marriage and what makes it work. Matt is breaking down his best marriage advice for couples at every stage. I want to dive in because I know these are questions you're asked a lot, right?
All the time.
Relationships change, they fluctuate. Let's go to the newlywed stage. What would be your advice to newlyweds out there?
So with newlyweds, you got to remember the problem, and the problem is you're used to being a me, not a we. So the first couple of years are hard because you got to figure out how do we move from all about me, the selfish stage, to kind of a selfless stage where it's about us, it's about we. So one of the rules I give is that, and it's the most important, I think, of all of them. When you're a newlywed, you must learn to handle conflict. You got to get good at talking about tough stuff.
And early on.
And early, because if you can get pretty good at talking about your differences when you're in that stage, it will literally save marriages.
Well, you hear about couples who are still 20 years later fighting about the same stuff they fought about in their newlywed stage.
And we don't ever learn the skills. Instead, we just we put it off, or a baby comes and then we're distracted and then we move into another stage of our life.
Speaking of baby,
yeah.
What about those couples out there? I mean, I'm just asking on their behalf.
Sure.
No, but really, when you're in that kid stage where every focus seems to be on the family and keeping kids busy and healthy and alive.
Co-parenting, now you got to work together, you got to move on. One of the problems is finding time and energy to be together, right?
Yes.
So one of the rules of this stage is you must be fixated on rituals. Those activities that we're going to do, I suggest 2 or 3 times a day, a ritual way of connecting to each other.
Mark's really good at that.
Saying hello, kissing goodbye, some cuddle time, some talk time.
Check in the weather checks during the day, so to speak.
Every week, do an activity, a date night, and every month do a little bit bigger activity, some night out, spend a little bit more money, maybe a sleepover somewhere.
What about the couple, though, who's listening and saying once a week sounds great, can't do it, no time, no money, get creative, or?
Well, yeah, because if you don't get good at the time and energy thing, then you're going to create problems in every other stage of marriage and every other stage of life. So force force time and energy together that's set aside. If it's in the calendar and you start setting aside for the whole year, you'll have time. You'll have time amazingly in about a month. Just put it aside in a month.
Empty nesters. I know a lot of couples who look forward or who dread this stage, actually, a little bit of trepidation, just how they're going to reclaim their relationship once the kids are gone.
And the kids leave. They say divorce rates go up about 16% at that stage.
Really?
Because you're not used to being together, and now you need to be together. So I give this same advice to people that are dating and wanting to get engaged. I call it 4 seasons and hundreds of questions.
What does that mean?
So when you finally are at a retirement age, I want you to have 4 seasons, which means I want you to take 1 year when you're an empty nester to do nothing but intentionally work on getting to know each other again.
Like courting, dating, the whole thing.
Hundreds of questions, because your spouse is not the same woman that you thought she was when you married her. She has changed. She has different hobbies. She's a hobbit now. She's a lot of interesting differences that you don't even know about because you have been working and you're gone. So take that hobbit by the hand, by golly, and you go talk about it, and you figure out. You okay?
I'm good.
Okay. Is it the baby?
No.
Is the baby coming?
Talking.
Okay, sorry.
That was so funny.
But you gotta do something to re-engage and reconnect. And the best way to do that really is learning about each other again and accept who they are. And then let's start talking about what we can become together.
I'm sorry to take away from that. Great.
No, that was great.
Really, really good information.
That was really good.
30 seconds for the golden couple out there, the golden age.
The golden couple, a lot of times I hear when we're at this stage, we wonder what we're good for anymore. Because we're nobody pays attention to us. They don't even look at us anymore. But here's the cool thing. You could become the evangelist of marriage. You could be the one that is going to together figure out how to create a legacy of these heirloom marriages that I talk about all the time. How are you going to hand it down? Go down and help the newlyweds. Go down and help your grandkids that are dating. Go help the couples in the stage that are co-parenting, and go model for all of them what a healthy, loving relationship looks like.
I love that. Great advice,
Cool
Matt.
stuff.
Honestly, thank you. This is the kind of advice and inspiration, the reboot you'll get at Matt's Valentine's date night. Is there still room? Seats fly.
Yeah, but they're flying off the shelf, so go to Date Nights with Matt. It's February 11th. It's at Murray High School, and it's at 7 o'clock, and we're going to be talking about how to take one person and make one couple. It's basically losing selfishness in our marriage.
This is the event you don't want to miss. A great Valentine's date, obviously, before the holiday. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brooklyn.
Thanks for the laugh, too.
Take care, you little
Almost went
hobbit.
into labor there.